Good morning from the Rila Mountains. I'm above Dupnica, and Rila is the highest mountain chain in Bulgaria and on the Balkans. Now these are not the highest parts per se, but I'm at, let's say, getting quite up there. Really rough landscape, really tall peaks here, and I'm very afraid of heights. So still it is really impressive. I cannot go a lot farther with my little car because the road is getting quite bad and I don't want to get stuck. So yeah, I'm just parked right there, just having a look at the views. And a little waterfall that comes straight from the Rila Mountains. As you can see, there is mineral water comes straight from the ground as well, which you can obviously drink. It's just very cold, but yeah, as clean as nature can be. That's the Rila Mountains for you. And the farther up you go, the prettier it gets. And down there is the village I just came up through. Not quite sure what it's called. On the left, that's the city of Dupnica. Kustendil is too far to see. So is Sofia. So yeah, it's not exactly a remote location here. It's pretty close to Sofia actually, but you just have to drive either, let's say, across or around Vitosha mountain, and then you get straight to the Rila Mountains. So if you look from north to south, you have Vitosha mountain, or no, let's say first the Balkan mountains, then Vitosha mountain, then Rila, and then Pirin, and then the Rhodops. If you look the western border of Bulgaria from north to south, you have, let's say, 4 or 5 mountain chains that line across the whole country. That makes the west particularly attractive for all sorts of tourism. Now, as I'm on my way back to Sofia, I'm making some more stops on the way, and this is the Resilovo Monastery, which looks relatively new. Perhaps the inside church is old. Not quite sure, I've never been here before. But the outside here complex is at most 10 years old. It's nice and sunny again. I've been very lucky with this trip. Even though it's almost over, I've had a grand time. That's a very pretty place. A pretty big church. It's nice that every monastery in Bulgaria is quite different and has its own character. And even the newer ones are pretty nice. Like, obviously I prefer the old ones because I guess we can say that the quality of the building materials is better. Like, nothing beats true natural stone. But that's so intensive to build nowadays. Like, the work that people were willing to put into monasteries a couple of centuries ago was obviously a lot more than right now. Oh, big dogs. Don't worry. I've met so many dogs on my trip, and they were all friendly. Although, if they're behind a fence, they're not so friendly. You never really know what you're up to. But in general, Bulgaria is a dog country. You'll find them in every village, basically around every house. This is Sveta voda, let's say holy water, which you can obviously drink. There's this cup for it, if you don't have any. Although it's not working right now, that's a shame, because I brought my bottle. Well, often it's turned off in winter to prevent the pipes freezing. And if you find a village tap that can be turned open and closed, let's say. If it's around the winter period and it's freezing at night, best leave it open so it can run a little, otherwise it would freeze. So if you're in some villages, you'll find that a tap is just running and you might be feeling the need to close it, but you shouldn't. If it runs, it means it won't freeze. Just leave it open a little. Now the inside though is absolutely stunning. These are some of the most impressive murals I've ever seen. All new. Wow. And the woodwork. Incredible. Perhaps I was too quick to judge by just the outside.